let's talk about the things that I like to take in my park bag with me when I go to Walt Disney World. If you've been watching me for a while, then you should know that I am an annual pass holder for Walt Disney World, which means that when I go to the parks, it's a little bit different than when I'm staying on property, or it's a different kind of bag than if I had kids or if I was staying on property and I didn't have to take, you know, some things with me. So I like to take a backpack with me. It's got comfortable straps because I don't like having a one shoulder bag. It feels more secure to have a backpack, and I can keep a lot of stuff in it. I like to take a reusable water bottle, and there are water bottle refilling stations all over the parks now. They are starting to put them in lines, like in queues for rides, which is really cool. There's one in Galaxy's Edge, and I know that there's one in each of the queues for the Pandora rides in Animal Kingdom, and they're just putting them in everywhere with all of the spaces that they renovate. So it's really convenient to have a water bottle and not have to pay $3.50 for a bottle of water at the parks. I also like to take a snack with me. Sometimes I'll take a sandwich, sometimes I'll take like a snack pack of almonds or something, but it saves me money to take my own snack with me to the parks instead of having to buy food every time I go there. Florida is hot and sunny, and there are lots of bugs, so it's important to me to take sunscreen, wear sunscreen. I would like to wear a rash guard sometimes when I go if I know I'm going to be really hot, because the rash guard doesn't get damp with sweat, it just kind of evaporates. It's kind of made for that, and it also protects me from the sun. I like to take bug spray or these really cool bug bands that I find at Lowe's, and I'll put them on my ankles, and they're really convenient because they're not in my way and they're not really smelly. I also like to take lip balm. The rides that you go on that are faster than others can kind of dry you out. If you've got a sunburn, it can just be really uncomfortable to have dry lips. I like to take lip balm. I also like to take an external charger for my phone. They have what's called a fuel rod at Walt Disney World, and so there are fuel rod stations all over the parks and all over Disney Springs. And if you buy a fuel rod at one station, you can turn it into any other station and get a new one with a full charge for free. So it's really convenient. I don't have a fuel rod, but I do have my own that I take with me. I also like to take extra camera batteries. This is my camera bag, so I've got SD cards and camera batteries and stuff, but that's not for everybody. But I think that it's really important to start saving those memories, you know, for the future when you want to look back on your trip. What am I? Oh, a chafing stick. Yeah. It's never any fun when you go to the parks and you're wearing shorts and your thighs start to chafe, or like your bag starts rubbing in a weird spot, or you're getting a blister on your foot, in your shoe. So I always like to take something like Body Glide. I think, was it Gold Bond has one, but it's like a anti-chafing balm stick kind of situation. I think they sell it in creams now too, but I like to have something that's going to protect me from being uncomfortable. I always like to take a pair of sunglasses or a hat because, again, it's sunny in Florida. Not all the time. Sometimes it rains, which leads me to an umbrella or a rain jacket or a rain poncho. They do sell umbrellas and rain ponchos there, but they're expensive. If you want to buy them there, by all means go ahead, but I like to take my own just because I like to be prepared. I don't like it when a sudden rainstorm strikes me unaware and then I'm fighting in a line of people trying to do the same thing I am. Sometimes the queues and lines for rides or attractions can get really long, and when I go by myself, I like to take a book to read in the line. I know that it sounds kind of nerdy. You don't have to do that. Some people really enjoy the Disney Parks Play app, and so they get to play interactive games in the queue for that ride. I'm not really into that. My phone dies fast enough already. I don't need help with that, but if that's something you like to do, I like to plan for entertainment in the queue because it can be long. I always like to take a towel with me, and it doesn't have to be a big beach towel, but sometimes it's nice to have something to wipe sweat off your neck, or to wipe down a seat that's been rained on, or even like a chair that has ketchup dripped on it. It's just handy to have something to wipe a surface down with. And I also like to take hand wipes because sometimes hand washing stations can be hard to come by in the parks. Sometimes it's nice to have something to, you know, just like make yourself feel a little bit refreshed. Water rides are a lot of fun, but everybody worries about their devices, their cameras, you know, everything getting wet. I really like to take Ziploc bags with me or zip top bags with me. I will stick my phone in one if I go on a water ride. I will also take them to put leftovers in to take home with me if I end up eating somewhere at the park and I don't eat it all. If you're into pin trading, you can do pin trading all over the parks, all over Disney Springs. You can do pin trading in the shops at the resorts. So I always like to take a couple of pins to trade with me. Sometimes you can find some really cool ones. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you do. It's kind of a chance thing. Lots of people like to wear ears when they're at the parks. These are a pair designed by me and made by Sherry Legg, and I will link her Etsy shop in the description box. But I really like seeing different people wear different ears, and you kind of get to tell what their favorite character is or where they're going today. It's just really fun to get to see all the different designs. Now for some people this won't be a necessary thing, but for me, I always worry about getting a paper cut or having a blister, so I like to have bandages with me just in case something happens. Of course, you can always go to a first aid station and get one, but I would just rather have them on my own. I always like to take some sort of headache medication with me, and ibuprofen is the one that's my drug of choice for that situation. And if that's not something you're into, then of course this whole list is just the things I like to take with me, but I like to be prepared for any situation. The last thing on my list is cash. There are some places in the Walt Disney World parks that you can only buy things with cash. So if you're thinking that you want to buy a balloon, you might want to think ahead and take some extra cash with you because they're not really cheap. I think it's about $15 for a balloon. So just plan ahead and have some cash with you. So that's my list of the things that I like to take in my park bag to the Walt Disney World parks with me as an annual pass holder. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. You'll see me really soon. Bye everybody.